we are in front of the Oregon Historical Society, and we're about to go inside and see the history of Portland. Here we are inside the Oregon Historical Society, and this is Scott.
Hi.
What do you do here, Scott?
My title is Reference Librarian, which basically is to help people when they come in to the library to find the things they're looking for. It could be photographs, it could be books, it could be tape recordings, a little bit of everything. We also help people that can't come into the library. They'll send us emails from around the world. I've worked with people this last week from England, Germany, Australia, Canada.
Do they come here?
Sometimes people from Canada will come here. We get a lot of visitors over the summer that come from other parts of the United States, and probably the furthest I've had somebody come to see us was from Japan.
Wow, that's a long
And
way.
he was very interested in Lewis and Clark, and he was writing a book on Lewis and Clark for a Japanese audience. So.
Wait, did he come here?
Mm-hmm.
Did he come here just to do the book on Lewis and Clark?
Yep.
Wow.
And he would stop not just here, but there's other places here that he would stop as well and go visit places that Lewis and Clark visited. So that's a lot of fun to be able to help people do that.
Why do you wear gloves?
Well, you see we've got photos here in front of us, and these are not original photographs, which is their prints. If they were original photographs, we wouldn't be touching them as much. So, but even so, we still want to be very careful with them. So, by using gloves, it's keeping the oils off of our hands. You know, if you were to put your fingers on a glass mirror, you're going to leave streaks and stuff like that. Well, those same oils will stay on the photograph.
I already see something right here.
And some of them, yeah, and a lot of these, everybody wears gloves when they work with these, but just the number of people that go through these, which is why the originals are not in the folder, just the usual wear and tear. So.
What's the oldest photograph you have of Portland?
I think this is one of the oldest right here, which is a photograph taken in 1852, I believe. And this is at Front and Stark. As we were looking at earlier, kind of a fun thing to look at is the mast of the ship here, so you can see how close it is to the Willamette River. Realistically, if you're to look at...
Did it crash, or is it still coming?
Nope, it's just docked there. So these are the reason these are built here is they're built, Portland started next to the river and then worked back up to the hills.
Yeah. One of them says flower.
Mm-hmm. And so this is, what, 5 years later. You can see it's built up. It's a different shot, obviously, but it's built up a little bit more. And if you look here, the little stumps that are here, that's the reason Portland's called Stump Town, because when people came through here, they saw more stumps than anything else. And Portland was actually the second city in Oregon behind Oregon City. Was really the first city in the main city for a long time, and then Portland eventually grew up.
So what did they use the trees for?
Well, the trees they chopped down to use for fuel for heating. They used it to build their buildings.
That looks like a lot of stumps.
A lot of stumps. And even into the 20th century, like, into before World War II, there were a lot of houses in Portland that were heated by sawdust and by fire and by wood. And you could actually go and see a lot of slabs of wood in front of houses.
One interesting fact about Portland's history is that the flood in 1894 was the worst of all. It flooded the streets, and all of the people had to get around on boardwalks and boats. This is what the street looked like back in 1894. And this is the same street, and this is what it looks like now. This is the old transportation that we used to have in 1898 on 5th Street. And this is what 5th Street looks like now. This is what the old Morrison Bridge looked like in 1887. And this is what the new Morrison Bridge looks like now. This was a photo taken in 1949 in the heart of the city's shopping district. This is the same street, and look how much it has changed in time. When this statue was built in the 1900s, the artist made sure that the horses had a place to drink. Today we still have the statue, but most people, when they walk by it, don't realize that those troughs are for horses to drink. This is an old photo of the Portland Reservoir. This is the first site for the Portland Zoo, when a pharmacist donated his animals to start the zoo. This is the zoo today. This is the Portland Electric Company, which used to supply power for the streetcars. That power was created by the lumber waste to run the steam plants. The old Portland Electric Company, building and land, was donated to create OMSI. The first congressional church in 1895 originally had 3 towers. 2 of them you can see now. When they decided to modernize the building, they took away 2 of the towers. Now only 1 is left, and it's the largest one. You can see it right up there. On the left side of the building, you can see the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1804. This is the Benson bubbler created by Simon Benson. Simon Benson created the Benson bubbler so that people didn't have to go into a saloon and pay for a beer just to get a drink of water, because he was tired of his workers having to go into a saloon and ending up drunk.